1953 USA 5-center coin. Most people see a 1953 nickel and think old, but probably just 5 cents. And for 99% of these coins, they're right. But in the world of numismatics, the year 1953 holds a very specific, very frustrating challenge for the US Mint that created a modern-day rarity. If you find a 1953 nickel with 5 or 6 tiny, crisp lines on the back, you aren't just looking at spare change, you're looking at a holy grail of the Jefferson series. Today, we're breaking down the 1953 Jefferson nickel, the full steps mystery, and the specific mint marks you need to hunt for if you want to turn 5 cents into 5 figures. 1953 was a massive year for the world, and at the US Mint, it was business as usual for the Jefferson nickel. Designed by Felix Schlag and first minted in 1938, the design was well established by 53. The coin is composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel. Note, this is not a Silver War nickel, those ended in 1945. So, if you're looking for melt value, you won't find much here. The value of the 1953 nickel is all about rarity and strike quality. In 1953, the mint was pumping these out by the tens of millions across 3 locations, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. But as we're about to see, not all mints are created equal. Let's look at the production numbers. This is your first clue to rarity. Philadelphia No Mint Mark produced roughly 46.6 million coins. This is the most common one you'll find in the eastern US. Denver D Mark produced a massive 59.8 million coins. Denver was the workhorse of the 50s. San Francisco S Mark only produced 19.2 million coins. 1953 S is considered a semi-key date. If you find an S mint mark on the back to the right of the Monticello building, set it aside. Now, let's talk about how a 5-cent coin sells for 5,000. It all comes down to 2 words. On the reverse of the nickel is Thomas Jefferson's home, Monticello. At the base of the building, there are a flight of steps. In 1953, the dies used to strike these coins were often worn out or the pressure wasn't set correctly. The result, most 1953 nickels have mushy steps. They look like a flat ram. Nickel is one where you can clearly see 5 or 6 distinct horizontal lines across the stairs. Because the strikes in 1953 were notoriously weak, especially in San Francisco, finding a 1953 S with full steps is incredibly difficult. For context, a regular 1953 S in high grade might be worth 20. The same coin with a full steps designation, it has sold at auction for over 4,000. If your coin doesn't have full steps, don't worry, there are still errors to look for. The 1953 DD repunched mint mark, look closely at the D on the back. Sometimes you can see the shadow of a second D slightly offset. This happened when the mint worker punched the letter into the die twice. Look for raised lines of metal that shouldn't be there, particularly through Jefferson's head or across the building. Planchette flaws. Since metal quality control wasn't perfect in 53, some coins have lamination errors where the top layer of the coin looks like it's peeling off. So, what is your 1953 nickel worth? Circulated average pocket find, 5 to 15 cents. Mostly just for fun. Uncirculated shiny, no scratches, 2 to 10. The 1953 nickel is the perfect example of why you should always keep a magnifying glass handy. What looks like a boring piece of history might actually be a strike rarity that collectors are dying to get their hands on. Go check your change jars. Look for that S mint mark, and look even closer at those steps. Would you like me to do a deep dive into the 1950 D nickel next, the rarest Jefferson nickel ever made? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and keep your eyes on the copper. Happy hunting!